Central C, Can't Rush Greatness, has just been announced. It is dropping in January 2025. So today, I'm going to chat through some things that I want to see on the album, some things that I think will be on the album, some things that I don't want to see on the album, and my overall thoughts. Now, he is obviously the biggest UK artist ever. Right, he is the biggest UK artist ever, and the numbers are going to show for that. So as a little comparison, Wild West, his first mixtape, sold 15,105 units first week. The next mixtape sold around 29,000 units first week. The marketing he's got around him, the team he's got around him, YB's, his manager, what they've been able to do before even dropping an album, right, is pretty crazy. And I think if it's done right, it will clear 100k sales. His fan base is big enough that they will go out and buy merch. They will buy bundles with the album. They will go out and buy the CDs, buy the vinyls. And that's all going to help towards the final album sales first week. Now, firstly, some things that I think we will definitely see on the album. Some things that have been announced. Dave is going to be on production on some of the songs at least. I think we're also likely to see a Dave feature on there. After what they did with Sprinter, that song's the highest streamed UK rap song ever. That whole Split Decision EP, they were putting up numbers on those songs, right? Like 40 million streams on each song. If he doesn't have a Dave feature on the album, I will be very surprised. Now, a lot of people in my comments on my TikTok were confused why I think there's going to be so many features on this album when he's had Wild West and 23, these two mixtapes, with pretty much no features. He's got a feature off Lil Bro, his little brother, right? And Eurovision, which is a load of European artists. But people need to realise a mixtape is different to an album. An album, a first album, is a big thing. So what is the difference between an album and a mixtape? A mixtape's essentially an independent artist or a small team that are putting together a project which might just be like a compilation of songs, not trying to make like a full album. When you're listening to an album, like, you know, a good album will be flowing all the way through or have a story going all the way through. That's essentially what an album is. The artist is making an album. They're not making a load of songs that they're just putting on one project. That's basically a mixtape. Whereas an album's more significant because it's something you're going to make when you sign a record deal. A lot of the times when they sign a record deal, they'll sign onto a 2-album record deal or a 3-album record deal. So don't compare an album to a mixtape. Even though his mixtapes have got not many features on, this album is going to be different. And talking of features, I think a feature that we're likely to see on there that I think is a good chance of being seen on there is Drake. Now, obviously, they did that On The Radar freestyle. He's been in music videos of Drake's. But this is a step up. Drake really only gets on albums for his friends or people that he fucks with heavy. And Central C ticks both those boxes. Plus, he's one of the biggest artists in the world right now. So Drake hopping on his album isn't like he's just giving him a helping hand. Like, Drake's getting something in return by collabing with Central C. Another feature that I think we'll definitely see on the album is a UK GOAT. Someone like a Skepta or a Giggs. Because while Central C is getting bigger and bigger in America, it's still important to keep a core audience in your country. And getting a collaboration with a UK GOAT is going to help that. Some people were saying a Nines feature. The reason I don't think we're going to get a Nines feature is because his last album was this whole rollout. It's the final album. He's retiring, right? He's never making music again. So why, if you're never making music again, would your return to music be a feature on a Central C album? He sold his final album as, this is my last project, I'm never making music again. Like, the fans would fuck with it, but then they'd think, hang on, so why aren't you dropping more albums then? Something I definitely think we're going to see on the album as well is a big hitter from the US. Now, he has been bought out by Travis Scott. He's been bought out by Nicki Minaj. He's bought out by all these big artists to perform at their shows. I would be highly surprised if he hasn't been in the studio with any of them or got sent a verse by any of them. The one that I think is most likely is probably going to be Travis Scott. He's already collabed with Lil Baby and like popping rappers in the US. And sort of like that upper echelon of US rappers is like your Travis Scott. I don't think he's like Lil Wayne, Kanye West, Jay-Z level yet. Like, a Travis Scott feature is realistic, and I think it's something that we're likely to see. The production on this album as well will be top tier. Like I said, don't judge his previous projects to what he's going to make next, because he has skyrocketed since 23. Barely any Americans or anyone was bumping 23 when it came out. A lot of people worldwide will be listening to the album when it drops because of how big his fan base is. And because of that, the production is going to be top tier. If you want to see what I mean, go listen to Band for Band with headphones on. The production, the mixing on that song is top tier, bro. Go listen to Band for Band and then go listen to another song by a UK artist. you will tell the difference. Anywhere I listen to Band for Band, the production is top tier. The beat, obviously, but I'm not just talking about the beat, I'm talking about how it's been mixed, mastered, how the vocals sound. You can listen to that full blast in your car and it won't pop your speakers. You can listen to it full blast with headphones on and it will sound crisp. And that's how I expect the rest of the album to sound. I reckon it's going to have elite mixing and mastering. He's going to have the best engineers from all over the world working on it because he's got the facilities for that, right? And it's going to be heard by a lot of people, so you want it as high production as possible. Now, some things that I would like to see on the project that I don't think we will see on the album, or we might see on the album, I'm not sure. I'd like him to give one of his boys a chance. Someone like A2Anti. If you don't know who he is, close friend to Central C, and he's dropped some good music. A2Anti's got a song called Real Things, and that song is tough, bro. That song is so tough.
Real niggas do real things. He's soon dead, come my niggas wanna kill him. Aim straight for his face, don't tilt it. Lick down two of them, man, and will spin. Only the real gon' feel this. I rap drill, only right that I drill shit. Only right that I beat up the pum pum. Carting got real grip.
And because this album is gonna break records, yeah, it's gonna be heard worldwide. Giving one of your boys a chance on the album, a verse, would be massive for them. Because people who have never heard their name, when they see him on the track list, they're gonna be like, oh, who is that? And if they deliver, look at what Travis Scott did for Don Toliver on Astroworld. Obviously, that's an extreme case where they're going worldwide and they're going global like Don Toliver did. But if you give your boy a shot on the album and he delivers, that will be huge for them. And if he signed to Central C's label, that's going to be huge for him too. Another thing I'd like to hear is a range in beats. Like, he uses a lot of poppy drill beats and the stuff that's in right now. I want him to experiment, but within its boundaries. Don't experiment way out of what you know. Because a lot of times when people try new shit on albums and it goes to shit and the album flops, it can kill an album. But like a Kanye West or a J. Cole type beat, something like soulful, something different that he's never tried, with some lyrics with meaning. A lot of people judge his lyricism off the singles he drops, Doja and all this shit, right? Where the lyricism is nothing. The lyricism is nothing special. But if you go and listen to like some of his projects, he does have songs with meaning and a story. So it's so important about finding the balance between songs that are going to do well pop-wise and songs with a meaning. Because I've spoke about it in other videos, albums like Psychodrama, when you got like Location and Disaster, which are like big tunes, catchy tunes. And then you follow it up with songs like Leslie and Screwface Capital, which have meaning. It's about finding the balance. It's so important in an album. A Lil Durk feature, that's the other thing that's up in the air right now. These two had a music video shot. They had a song ready to go out. Lil Durk has just been locked up and he is going away for a while, yeah. But to be honest with you, I think the song will still drop. It will be a single on the album, but it will drop before, with the music video that they shot and everything. And because Lil Durk's locked up, that's like perfect marketing for you, and you don't have to do anything because the blog pages will be posting it. Lil Durk's just dropped a new tune even though he's locked up. Like, it's just easy marketing. It's literally easy streams. Now to the fun part, some things that I do not want to see on this album. Number one, an Ice Spice feature. Do not give me an Ice Spice feature on this fucking album, bro. And do not give me a Sexy Red feature on this album. If you're going to have an American rapper on your album, use a Glorilla, use a Nicki Minaj, or go to the UK and get a Little Sims feature. Don't fucking go for Sexy Red or Ice Spice. Because when I look down that track list and I see artist names and I'm thinking, alright, Travis Scott, Calm, Dave, Calm, Sexy Red, Ice Spice. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to listen to Ice Spice and Sexy Red, bro. I want, like, artists that I fuck with. Like, it will just ruin the flow of the album. If he's actually telling stories about his life, his come up and everything, yeah, all this inspirational shit, whatever. And then the next song, you've just got Sexy Red talking about a pum get mashed. Like, no one wants to hear that shit, bro. No one wants to hear that shit. Next thing, you have had so much time to produce this album, right? Years in the making, plenty of time to listen back to songs, change bars, write your lyrics. Put some substance in it. Don't just talk about how much you used to trap all the time. Preferably no sus bars in there because he doesn't need sus bars to sell the album. You can put funny bars in there. Do a Kanye. Kanye puts funny bars in his album, but don't do sus bars, bro, as a way to sell the album. It's just a bit weird. But on the other hand, I don't want him to sway too much from the brand he's already got. Find the middle ground. Don't just do what you've already done again and again. Change it up. Try something a little new, but stick to what your audience knows. If he goes too poppy or he Americanizes the album too much, I just feel like a lot of the UK audience won't fuck with it. Same way a lot of US fans didn't fuck with More Life by Drake. He tried to make it such like a UK rap album. There was a lot of UK rap influence in the album. A lot of US fans were disappointed. This album could get him all the respect that he deserves, right? People will have to give him his flowers. If it breaks every record and it's actually a good album, that is a good representation of UK rap, then people in the UK cannot be mad, yeah? Because this album is going to be, to fans across the world, wherever, yeah, the representation of UK rap. For people who haven't heard Dave or haven't heard J Hus, Nines, Potter Paper, Skepta, but might listen to this Central C album. This is going to be their maybe full introduction into UK rap. So it is a lot of pressure because he's basically got the whole UK rap scene lying on his shoulders. And if you think that's bullshit, it's not, bro. Go and look at the numbers, or go online and just ask someone from America what UK rappers they know, and it will probably be Central C, the majority of people. But to be honest with you, I'm fucking excited for this album. I really am. And I'm not even a big Central C fan, but what I'm a big fan of is albums with high production and albums that have been put together well. And no one puts albums together better than big artists. Artists who have the budget, who have the connections, who have the time. Don't get me wrong, when it first drops, I expect people to just hate it. Whether it's good or not, yeah. People in the UK, the US will just hate on the fucking album. It happens to every album that drops. Every album that's dropped for the past 3 years, yeah, as soon as it drops, the majority of people call it shit. They can't even be asked to give it another listen. Their attention span is so small that they listen to the album once and they've already made an opinion on it. And unfortunately, there's nothing we can do to change that. As soon as this album drops, good or not, because it's Central C and his brand, people will call it shit. And that's what pisses me off nowadays, because people don't even give albums a chance. And with TikTok and Twitter and all this shit, as soon as one person starts calling it shit, or a big group of people start calling it shit, no one has their own opinion. Everyone's so scared of having their own opinion, whether they like the song or not, that they'll just follow the wave of everyone else. And if I had to predict first week sales for the album, if Dave did 74,000 on We're All Alone in This Together, and that was in 2021, and Central C's got a worldwide audience, I think it could hit 100k sales first week. The marketing leading up to this will be like top tier. Like, there will be very few people who have a social media account in the UK that are following the likes of I'm Just Bait, Young Kings TV, like all these blogs, whatever, that don't know that it's dropping on a certain day. As soon as January rolls around, yeah, leading up to that whole album, you will be seeing so much fucking promo for this album that most people from the UK will know when it drops. Because although he doesn't make the best music in the UK, in my opinion, he has the best fucking marketing by a mile. When it comes to marketing, no one can chat to him. The only opinions that are valid to him are the people around him who will give him an honest opinion, and the artists he's working with. And I genuinely, no bullshit, hope that this album breaks every fucking record. I hope this album is a fucking success, because if it's a success for him, it's a success for the whole scene. It's a success for every UK rapper that's featured on that album. The publicity that UK rap music could get off this one project could be huge. And having all that responsibility on your shoulders is big. It is big. Like, that is a lot of responsibility to have on your shoulders. That's fucking like that's fucking scary. That is scary that the UK rap scene and how it's visioned worldwide rides on one man pretty much. A matter of fact, rides on one project, because you don't want to be the guy known as how can I be homophobic. You don't want to be the guy that's known as the guy who collabs with Ice Spice on tunes all the time. Like, you want to be the guy who, in the UK at the moment, people probably wouldn't even put Central C in their top 10 UK rappers of all time. I definitely wouldn't. If this album is good and it breaks records, it's like a perfect representation of the scene. Like, you can try deny all you want. Oh, he's just still not there. He's still not there. Bro, this album could be fucking huge. For the whole scene, for every UK rapper, it could be massive. So I just hope that his team, everyone around him, have done everything right to make this album a success. And I will be reacting to it live. So my Instagram will be in the description. Make sure you go and follow that, because whenever I go live, that's where you can see. And also, just go follow me over there if you haven't already, just to show me some love. Why not? If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. If you've got a topic you want me to speak on next, drop it in the comments, and I'll probably do it, because I'll just do whatever the comments say. And I'll catch you in the next one. Can't rush greatness.